Hello and welcome to another MMOFTW here on MMORPG.com. This is the week that was, or the past couple weeks that were in MMO news. I appreciate you guys and your patience for the couple weeks off we took during the holidays. And as we round the third base and go on the home stretch to 2016, we're here to give you some of the best news that's happened over the past couple weeks. So why don't we get right to it with, of course, being a big congratulations to the guys at Ark Survival Involved. The co-founder and creative director at Studio Wildcard, Jesse Rapczak. God, I hope I got that right. I never figured out how to say it. He is celebrating right now because not only has the game sold over 2 million copies in its PC pre-release, early access program. The game's not actually out until June of 2016, but just this past week they announced that they went into early access on the Xbox One, and it has sold over 1 million copies there in just under a week. This is a testament to showing you just how well a game can do in the sort of survival MMO genre when it's actually polished and fun, and they keep adding new content to it. Now, mind you, the servers are never going to be as big as we are used to in the MMO world. There's only ever going to be probably about 100 people per server when they hit launch, but it's still one of the best sandbox games available out there, and if you haven't tried it yet, I definitely recommend giving it a go. So congrats to the team at Studio Wildcard. Now, in the opposite end of the spectrum, we have some sad news about the repopulation. The alpha servers have gone offline as devs search for solutions to the problems with the hero engine creators at Idea Fabric. As you may or may not know, the Repopulation is a sandbox game created by an indie development studio led by our friend Joshua Halls, and it's really been a promising game, but it's always had some issues with its engine, and as it seems to be, the engine itself is having some serious financial woes because you no longer can run and host the game. They actually have to take it offline. There was JC Smith over at the studio. He posted on an FAQ based on the downtime. They are committed to finding a solution, whether it's moving to a new engine or finding some sort of way to help Hero Engine come back online. But when asked how long it is expected to take, they don't know. Even if they are shared information regarding the situation of the future, it is subject to confidentiality agreements unless it is information which third parties wish to become public knowledge. Any time frame they give would only be an estimation. If we expected a quick resolution, we would have likely opted to keep the servers operating throughout, but problems like this can sometimes take time to resolve. So for now, the repopulation efforts are stalling, I'm afraid to say. So hopefully these guys can turn things around and they can get their sci-fi sandbox game back online. But in the meantime, just cross your fingers, and if you're a supporter of the Repopulation, do your best to support the team in the downtime. And if nothing else, if development has to completely cease, that's so be it. Hopefully the team can move on and start over on a new engine and make a new game or something like that. This is all a learning experience for them, I'm sure, even though it is the worst way to learn. And in some more negative news or positive news, depending on how you spin things, Albion Online has announced that it is going to ditch its free-to-play plans for launch, and in the meantime, it will be becoming a sort of buy-to-play game. The closed beta, which is currently ongoing, is going to last through at least August 1st of 2016, and then the game will not be free to play. According to the developer Sandbox, they say, for this reason, we are putting the free-to-play plans on hold. Making the game ready for a free-to-play model would take up significant development time, which we would much rather use to make a better game. Free-to-play would also create a lot of risk for the game. Spamming, botting, world being too small, which we do not want to take if it can be avoided. So they're going to go with a buy-to-play model and keep the options open for free-to-play should the game need it or require it down the line. We put out a request for an interview with the Albion Online team, and hopefully we'll kind of get some more detail as to what this means for the future of the game in the next week or two. Now, moving on to some big reveals from two of our most wanted games of 2016 and 2017. Well, first, let's talk about Crowfall. Crowfall this week revealed a feature that they're calling Vessels. It creates necromancy as a market skill. Essentially, your account will be bound to a spiritual form of a crow. You don't have just characters. Your account level is all on this little spiritual crow that floats from body to body. And bodies of characters, and that means their classes, their stats, and things like that, are all tied to vessels. You can actually craft these vessels, these bodies, as like a necromancer and sell them and trade them, and you can harvest them from other players. If you manage to kill a player on an all-out PvP campaign world, you can take their vessel, and then that vessel is yours. Their body, their loot, their stats, everything. All the skills and stuff like that are still learned on your account, so your crow will always have this knowledge as you go from body to body and life to life. But the art of necromancy actually becomes more than just about raising skeletons and taking them to an army. It's actually a crafting skill. There's a whole lot of information over on the Crowfall website, and we have one of the first interviews coming hopefully next week from Artcraft Entertainment to go deeper into this feature and exactly how it will all work. And speaking of crafting, one of our other most wanted games for the next couple of years is Camelot Unchained. And this past week, they unveiled everything about crafting as it is in Camelot Unchained. There's a huge stream that goes into major details on the Camelot Unchained crafting system. But needless to say, Mark Jacobs and his team at City State Entertainment have put in a ton of information and work and thought into the process. The core philosophy, as Mark Jacobs says, is that the core philosophy of crafting revolves around creating a system that is not dependent on button mashing, creating thousands of useless items, or boring and repetitive gameplay, or on having a non-crafter main to support a crafter alt. Crafting is supposed to be a vibrant and honest part of the game, something that everybody should want to do, and those who really want to focus on it can be a large part of the overall game's infrastructure. If you want to read all about the crafting, and if you want to read it on our website, just head on over to MMORPG.com and go to the Camelot Unchained game page. It is the most recent feature. There is also a column with reactions from our own Timothy Eisenzimmer, who tells you all about his thoughts on the crafting reveal, and it's a lot of good stuff. A lot to look forward to for crafters in the MMO space in the next couple of years. So that's going to do it for this week, folks. I hope you have a very happy new year. Hope you've had a great Christmas, a great holiday season. 2015 was not a superb year for new MMOs. It was probably a great year for existing MMOs with content updates, DLCs, and expansions. But here's hoping that 2016 brings some awesome new releases to the field as well, both from indie studios and AAA studios. I mean, after all, it's not too long that we have to look forward to Blade and Soul, Black Desert, and hopefully by the end of the year, a couple of these indie Kickstarter MMOs will be out there, like Shroud of the Avatar and Crowfall, and maybe even if we're lucky, Camelot Unchained will sneak in there too. So keep your eyes peeled. Let's look forward to a bright and happy 2016. And remember, don't let a bad pug get you down.
Make sure to level up your MMO knowledge by visiting MMORPG.com, subscribing to our YouTube channel, and by following us on social media. To catch up on the week's biggest MMO news, watch our latest MMOFTW. And to see if there's a better MMO out there for you, watch one of our latest First Impressions videos. Thanks for watching.